Hey guys, alright, so I'm back for another video today. I did a tutorial last week, or sometime last week, I don't remember. And it was basically on warping vocals. So I'm using the same vocals. I have a friend that's got into producing music probably like a year ago. So he comes to me with questions, which actually gives me ideas for videos, so it's great. And he was like, I thought you were going to show me how to use the vocoder because I really liked how your vocals sounded. He uses a vocoder. I think it's kind of the processing that makes it smoother for what I did. But we're going to go over the process of getting these vocals to sound like this.
I'm crying for you.
And this. Or not that.
After me with think about you.
And I'm sorry for that.
Okay, so I hope you have a general understanding of vocoders, but we're going to kind of go over it. So what is a vocoder? It's basically a gadget that synthesizes the human voice. So it's a short definition, probably not the most technical, but I mean, that's what it's doing. So we'll go with that. So for beginners, let's see, where's your vocoder? In your audio effects, you're going to go down to the bottom. Should be last one, or if you go backwards, it's going to be top one. So you're going to bring it on to your channel, onto your audio channel. I mean, before you have the vocoder on, it's just going to be your normal voice, which all of this is actually me. I'm not going to show you what I sound like because it's probably terrible. And I did it with the vocoder on, and I was just doing weird, like, kind of harmonies with my voice. Because sometimes you can get nice effects on it, even though it's being synthesized. I don't know. It just play with it. You'll kind of see as you go. But I basically had it recorded. You know, you have it recording in. So when you have your vocoder on your channel, when you first load it on, it's just going to come in down here. It's not going to have the carrier, and essentially like what the carrier does is it's going to pull the signal, that's how it's going to synthesize the voice, from somewhere else. So it's basically just pulling from a different output, which when it's on noise, you'll hear it just sounds like white noise. And that's what it's going to sound like until you pull in your your carrier wave from somewhere else. So like I would go on here, and you're going to pick an external, which is going to pull from another channel, and you're going to pull the audio from which channel. And this one, we only have one. It's a silent. So it's already, oh shit, it's already set up on this channel, so I don't need to set it up again. But I'll go over, like, I think I did some adjustments. So you'll see what I did to get the voice to sound like that. Because at first it's not going to sound like a kind of robotic girl. It's because of the Formant that I put up on this. So that being said, you have your external carrier come in, and then I pulled from my channel the silent. And the thing about doing this too is if you're new to this, you're gonna, since it's synthesizing your voice, you also need to you're going to want to do this to the key of your track, because if you don't, it's going to be out of key and it's going to sound stupid. So I just use this chord progression, which when you do this, you put it on, I only do it on, I put it on sends only on the channel. So it's going to come up purple, which I'll show you how to do that. I can't remember. How do you do that? I think you right click. No. Oh, you change it here. I think you can change it also right there. Okay. So right here or right here if you're in the arrangement. So we're going to go to master out. So in the synth you choose, and like it can change the sound too depending how much stuff you have going on under the sound. So but for me, I just did a basic saw. Like I think that's it. Just one saw wave. And then I did triads, just a chord progression. So that's what's playing the whole time under the voice. Because if you have nothing playing under the voice, I can turn this off and you'll hear. We'll put this back on. Oh, son of a, I guess it's still gonna, if I just get rid of it here, it's not gonna do anything without that. So when that, at least when you have the external pulling in from the other channels. So that being said, I'm gonna push this back to sends only, So you're not hearing the signal, but it's still sending out the signal to be picked up by other channels if you need to.
I'm crying for you.
So we picked our carrier, the external, audio from the Silenth. I'm going to pull the vocoder on because I don't know how it comes in. Man, I don't use vocoders a lot, so I kind of forgot what exactly all these do. I kind of just twist the knob sometimes. But your unvoiced, I think we'll just play with it and see what it does.
I'm crying for you.
Put it on 24.
I'm crying for you. I'm crying for you. I'm crying for you.
I think it just kind of, whoops, I keep bumping the microphone. 24.
I'm crying for you. I'm crying for you.
Well, cool. I have my little info button on. It doesn't really explain much. Sets the volume of the unvoiced notes generator. Okay, that's vague, but you can also hear when you do turn it up.
I'm crying for you.
It definitely adds more emphasis to the sound. I mean, the top end starts getting poppy, so I think it just kind of cleans it up and gives it more brightness.
I'm crying for you. I'm crying.
It gets brighter. You can hear that, so that's why I turn it up. Let's see. This starts on precise. I put mine on retro, so let's go through and hear the difference.
I'm crying.
So
I'm crying for you.
the retro makes a massive difference. It also starts off on this one. It defaults as 20 bands. So if you go down,
I'm crying for you.
we'll go down to 20.
I'm crying for you.
It's gonna get grittier and less. It's gonna get less clear the less bands you have. So if you go higher, it's gonna be a little cleaner. But you might not want that. You might want it to be grittier and kind of almost more processed sounding, even though it's extremely processed sounding already. So that's what I went ahead. I did 40 bands. I turned it to retro. I do not believe I changed it. I did change a few more things actually. Does it default? It defaults to stereo. And then I went and adjusted the formant. So if I don't do the formant,
I'm crying for you.
so that sounds more like me, I guess. And then if you go up to 3,
I'm crying for you.
and you keep going up.
I'm crying for you. I'm crying for you.
And besides that, doesn't look like I changed anything else on this one. Yeah, no, I didn't. Okay. Or did I? Oh, I changed the gate. So I have it at -49.
I'm crying for you. I'm crying for you. I'm crying.
I think it's just going to get rid of the low level noise as you turn the gate up a little bit. I don't hear much of a difference. I may have accidentally did it. I'm not really sure. But, I mean, if you have a lot of low level noise, background noise, this can help get rid of that so it doesn't get processed and muddy up your signal, basically, is what's going on there. So that's what I did for that. I didn't change any of this. And then from here, there's just going to be a shitload of plugins added on. A lot of EQing. I guess I took EQ'd some of, because
I'm crying. I'm crying.
from here I was just trying to even out the signal. I probably had some kind of peaky sounds there that I felt like shot out of the mix too much. And then I took off the sides. I'm not even sure. Should there be sides on this? Is there?
I'm crying. I'm crying.
I'm not sure what I did here. Why did this doesn't even do anything. I may have just accidentally left this on. There are no sides. I mean, later there will be because I added on delays. That's weird. I'm just going to leave it anyways. More EQing. Then I compressed it twice.
I'm crying.
And I mean, you could compress it with one compressor and just lately I've been using two and just doing lighter compression, and then each one, because I have like a quick compression here to like catch the peaks, which evens out the signal a little bit. And then I have another compressor after that has a long attack and a long release, which is going to kind of just smooth over and gel and kind of flatten out the signal more. So I'm catching the peaks in the first one, evening the signal, so the compressor doesn't work as hard when the peaks come in, and it can kind of even out the rest of the signal is what's going on there. Now from there, I added on more effects based stuff and then just more EQing and other bullshit, but we'll go through. So before I added on the guitar rig, saturation, and its delay, it sounds like this.
I'm crying for you.
The guitar rig is really nice on this one. It adds a lot of depth. I don't know what I used though. Like apparently it's called added depth. That's the preset I used. So when you go into guitar rig though, oh, this one's in mono. Oh shit. I didn't add on the right.
I'm crying. I'm crying for you. I'm crying for you. I'm crying for
Doesn't make a huge difference because the signal's pretty much monoed anyways. But after that, so if you listen,
I'm crying for you.
that gives a like nice slap back.
I'm crying.
You know, it sets it back in the mix.
I'm crying for you. I'm crying for you.
It's a really, really nice sounding preset on these. It sounds really good. Then I added saturation. I've pulled this up in tutorials before. It's by Softtube. I got it for free. I don't know if it's still free or not. It was they gave it away at one point. I don't know if they still do, but this thing's fucking awesome. Highly recommend it. At least go see if you can get it for free somehow. I don't know if hopefully it's not expensive. It could be. But I mean, Softtube makes a lot of stuff too for Ableton as well for live. I mean, they do the amp racks on here. These are all, I'm pretty sure these are all Softtube, made by Softtube. Yeah, see Softtube right there. Okay, anyways, so I added some saturation onto the sound. So I'll turn it on.
I'm crying for you.
Just gives it a little more grit. It's going to turn it up, obviously, because it's like a form of compression. Saturation, and then I added another delay on top of it.
I'm crying for you.
And it kind of makes it just flutter away a little bit more. And then from there, I just did some more EQing. Later, I felt like the top end was too shiny, so I added this on, the auto filter. The new auto filter is fucking great in 9.5, especially when you get and start using the drive on these. The drive algorithm that they put in these filters is amazing. I've been using it on everything lately. So I did auto filter just to get rid of some of the top end, put a little resonance up to kind of just accent where I cut off. More EQing, and then a simple delay comes in later in the song just to add more depth in certain sections. So that's automated. And then I just used the utility to turn it up and down where it might be some sections were quieter and I just felt like the vocals were too loud, so I did that. That's it for that vocal. The other one's going to be the same, basically, minus a change in the Formant. This one just has the Formant. Shit.
Think about you.
And I'm sorry for that.
The Formant on this one is just -3, and that's, and again though, depending, you have to move it around. They're gonna add harmonics, and some might sound good in the mix and some might not. I mean, if you do a Formant when you're going up 3, you're making like a minor third depending on what you're singing in or what notes you're using. I think like the root, I'm pulling from the root of it. So here, so what, 1, 2, 3. So when it doesn't matter. It's, point being is that just if you don't have theory or I don't even know how much the Formants affect in the way of as far as the key goes. I don't use these a lot, the vocoder. So, and I don't have the whole song up right now to even push this up into maybe like to 5 or something, or to like 11. I don't know. That being said, just play with it until you get something that you feel sounds good in your mix. So when we go back through, we did the male one. Okay, same exact setup. I duplicated it and then brought it down -3 on the Formant, and you get that. And then lastly, I grouped them and I did a little bit more stuff. I added a stereo imager. This is by Waves. If you don't have Waves, you're not going to have this, but I mean, there's other ways to go about getting stereo imaging. I've gone over this a lot of times in a lot of tutorials, but I'll just do it again. You can make your own stereo with plugin in Live using audio effects rack. If you want, I can build it really quick. I don't want to, so we're not going to do that. I'll just show you. I mean, it's pretty simple. You open a brand new audio effects rack. I'll show you. You create a chain. All right. You get create chain, pan one right all the way, pan one left all the way. One of them will be empty, and one of them's gonna have a simple delay. And you're gonna put it on to link, 100% wet, and you're gonna set it from sync to time. And it has to be anywhere between 24 milliseconds and down is how you're gonna create depth. And because once you get over 24 milliseconds, your ear starts hearing the audible delays and actually becomes a delay rather than just sounding like the sound's wider. So we'll turn this off. Whoops, we'll start here.
I'm crying for you. I'm crying.
So you get the idea. You could just build one that way. I use the stereo imager on this one from Waves. I did EQ, and then I also used the Kramer tape on these, which this is great. It's basically based off the tape plugin from Abbey Road Studio. I think I'm not sure. The one in London, I think it's Abbey Road's. It's a tape emulation machine, and it really softened up the vocals and warmed them up. I felt like I'll turn it off, and then you can hear.
I'm crying for you. I'm crying for you.
It adds warmth and depth to the sound. Again, it's really subtle, but to me, I felt like it made a huge difference, especially in the mix. This plugin is kind of expensive. I got it for dirt cheap on sale for like $50. I think it's a $250 plugin, but Waves always has sales. So Kramer tapes on top of both of these in the group. So that's basically what I did to get these vocoded vocals. I hope the video helped. There's nothing else going on here. Okay. I hope the video helped, and I mean, basically now you could go make the same exact vocals I did if you have all the plugins too. Let me go over one more thing. If you liked how this sounded with the Kramer tape, I don't know how close, this is not going to be anything close to it, but I found this son of a bitch. Where would it be? Oh yeah, it's going to be here. It's going to be the erosion plugin, and I found this in a Data Life tutorial, and they made this, and it's supposed to emulate like analog machines and add warmth. So if you listen to it with it off,
I'm crying for you.
and you put it on,
I'm crying for you.
it softens up the signal a little bit, and I guess it's just supposed to emulate probably tape machines or something. And you can just make this using the erosion, and these are the settings that they used to get that. So if you just read this and copy those, you can make kind of this isn't a preset. I made this and then saved it as my own. So you can use this instead of if you don't have the Kramer tape, which might help. All right, so that is the video. I think it was kind of long. Yeah, it's like 20 minutes. So that's it. If you have questions, or if I missed things, or if you want to know more about vocoders and want me to do another video going over all the components of it, I can do that too. Just let me know. All right.